everybody had to go there to stay, to come there, to this place. And we ran there, so then they told us we have to stay straight to 4 to 10, straight out, men and women, everybody had to be straight out. Then the old Germany, the old Germans with the Ukrainian, with the all officers, with the all with guns, you hear? They were around us. You understand? We were standing here, and then they all around were with the Gestapo, with the all German. Then the director, he was a tall, nice man. He was in the middle. The old people were around, full around, all Jews were around, and he was standing and smoking cigarettes one after the other. And he said in German, "You will live so long. How long you will work, so long you will live. So lang wirst du leben, wie lang du wirst arbeiten. So long you will live, how long you will live, you will work."
Okay, let me interrupt, please. This happened in the Hasag?
This happened in the Hasag, and since then I never went to the ghetto because the whole ghetto was with dynamite, all blew up.
Were people killed?
The whole ghetto who was hiding their mothers with children, they were thinking they're going to live over, they will live, they all were killed in the ghetto.
So all the people in the ghetto were killed?
All were killed, and we all were voting, we will live there.
Except you, and how many people escaped from the ghetto to the Hasag?
I don't know that, how many.
A lot of people?
Everybody who was working went to work. When there was a mother with a child, she was hiding all time, till she came, she smuggled to the ghetto, and she was thinking she will live over like Mrs. Rosenbeck's mother and her sister-in-law and the brother. Anyway, they all were in ghetto. She couldn't go where all the women to work. She was in the house, in the room. And we went to work.
But you went to work,
I went to work
because you wanted to, right? You chose to go to work?
I went the first time, and I didn't want anymore to the ghetto.
This was your idea?
The papers with my clothing, everything was...
This was your idea to go to work in the Hasag?
I went alone, yeah.
Because you wanted
myself,
to?
Yeah.
If you had stayed in the restaurant, you would be killed.
Sure, like anybody else.
So you were lucky.
I went, right. My whole life I'm lucky.
So you were very lucky.
Anyway, I went to work the first time. I never been there. The first time, it never came to the ghetto.
And was the Pa working with you?
And always the Pa, not with me, he worked in another group, but on the Hasag, in the same factories.
When you had
in another group.
When you had the restaurant, did the Pa work in the restaurant too?
No, the Pa went to work every day.
So the Pa...
And I was in the ghetto.
While the Pa was working in the small ghetto, you were in the restaurant. And then
yes.
you decided you would go work too. And just when you decided to go work, they destroyed the small ghetto. So you are very lucky. Again.
Yeah.
Did you lose a lot of friends when they destroyed the small ghetto?
In the small ghetto? No, I didn't.
Friends or relatives? No? Were a lot of people killed when they destroyed the small ghetto?
Well, they were killed, yeah, a lot of people.
Okay. So you were working in Hasag and the Pa was working in... I forget the name.
The Pa... Now let me tell you, if you want to know. When I stopped, when I was working in casino, and before I worked casino, I told you the daddy was on one camp, and I was in the other camp, yeah?
I don't understand what the casino is.
We come to it.
Okay.
Listen. The daddy, I mentioned this before, when they were counting the people to go to work, he stepped out, yeah, and he step out from the always standing, I don't know.
From the lineup?
From the line, he went out from the man. He said to the German, I had a Mesterei, a place from the geese, 100 geese, that he is professional. He know how to handle pigs. If he will fit a pig, if he will take care after a pig, she's not going to be able to go to a door. She'll be so fat. And the sheep has to be cut off the wool twice a month, I don't know, or every 2 months. And then the geese, they will walk around geese. The geese live, there has to be picked out the feathers, so they get fat, and the feathers are nicer, something like that. He explained. Anyway, and he went back to the line. Next day, the officer who was standing, the German, when they were counting the people, next day the manager, the general, I don't know, who was a higher officer, he came, he said, who was so bright to step out yesterday from the line about this and that? So the day he went out, he said, he stepped out again, he said, I did it, that's me. Why I did it, I came to it, because why, not just the daddy was in one camp and I was in the other, there were a lot of people, a lot of men. They were sent here to Rakov and they were sent to Hassa.
So you were in Hassag and the daddy was in Rakov?
Yeah. So listen, darling, and the point was, all from the offices, the better people, they had very good jobs. They took over, they sent for the wives, you hear?
Yeah.
And I was alone, and nobody took me. You know, the smaller people, they have known. I didn't have the power of what these were, the big shots.
The Jewish big shots.
That's why the daddy went out from the line, and he mentioned it because he wanted me to come to his camp, to be together. You understand?
He wanted to work with
The
animals.
daddy wanted me, they didn't took me official like the all from the officers, that took over their wives, and the rest, they didn't care. But the daddy wanted me to come to him, to be with him. In the same camp.
In the same camp.
On the Hatzak, on the Hatzak.
You were in
On the Rako.
Rakov, okay.
Anyway,
Let me interrupt, please.
yeah.
How did it come that you were in one camp and the daddy was in another camp?
So I'm telling you, after they find out the partisans,
Yeah.
when the 2 men were shot, they killed so many people, so many men, then they from the office came out, and they sent the people to work.
I see.
Here and there to all kinds of work.
Is this...
So the daddy was sent to Rakov, and then when I went the first time to Hatzak, and I was in Hatzak, and the whole ghetto was blowout.
Now, let me see if I understand. The Germans blew up the ghetto because of the partisans? Because of the uprising?
Yeah, I think so. No, because they built the Hatzak with a barrack special for us.
Oh.
They knew anyway. And then when they find out there's one connect with the other.
Okay.
But when the daddy said this, the daddy mentioned, so the daddy was sent to this casino to take care after there was a big garden, they were walking goats and sheep and the geese and the all, and cows, the all was full of them, the whole garden. And the daddy was there, and he took care after the whole thing. So the daddy mentioned to the Germans there, to the officers, that the geese has to be alive to pick out the feathers. They get fat, that's professional. He said, my wife, she's professional, she can do that. And me, I I never had a geese on my leg. I didn't ever touch it.
Mhm.
I was afraid. I never touch a fish.
Mhm.
Nothing. He said because he want me to take out, he want me to take from this camp to him,
Right.
to Rakov, to be sent. I didn't know that.
Were you in Hasag a long time?
Yeah, I was a long time. I smoke 3 packages cigarettes a day, and I cry and I smoke. I cry and I smoke. Das again. I was alone.
Do you remember how long you were in
I
Hasag?
had friends. I don't remember. Maybe a year.
A year?
Yeah.
What kind of work did you do there?
They're all munitions with the bullets. Yeah.
Tell me now, what was the casino?
So the casino, this German who said to the Jewish policeman, take this woman who likes, he said, right, and the rest went all to the train.
Yeah.
He came every day to dinner. He ate dinner in this casino. This was a beautiful castle after a millionaire Jew, a millionaire.
He owned it.
The
owned it.
the German took over.
Mhm.
In all offices, the arrested the biggest murders, they were eating there with their families, with the children. They came over every day in 12 o'clock for dinner.
This was in the small ghetto or in the Hasag?
This was this was open in Chancellorhouse for the Germans. Sure, they had a beautiful
But this
castle.
was outside the ghetto?
Yeah, outside.
Outside the camps? outside
Right,
the ghetto.
but we went with the Germans walk. We didn't walk alone. We're not allowed to go alone.
And you worked in the casino?
This
Is this true?
I didn't work that time in casino. That time I was sent to live, and we were working. We were cleaning the houses.
Yeah.
And then I had the restaurant in the small ghetto.
Yeah.
Then I went the first time on the Hasag,
Yeah.
and I didn't went anymore. I didn't came anymore to Sketo.
Right.
That's it. This was the whole thing.
I understand.
That time, they took us to one factory, the women to one factory,
The munitions
when
factory?
I was to live,
Yeah.
and the men in another factory. Anyway, I worked there, and I was there, and the daddy explained to them that I'm professional. Yeah?
Mhm.
And they sent for me, and what they did, the daddy was in garden about the all animals.
He was in charge of the animals.
Yeah, and he gave me a chair. Listen, so when I came there, we were 2 women. When they brought us the first time to this casino, you understand?
No. Here's what I understand. The daddy was handling animals in his camp. He said he needed
Not
to
the camp. He was in this casino. In the backyard was a big backyard with all animals, and the daddy took care of them.
Oh, the daddy volunteered to take care of the animals when he stepped out of the line. And the animals were in the casino. Yes?
The all animals. This was from this casino. Yeah, this belongs to the casino, to the German.
Why did the casino have animals?
I don't know.
Was it a zoo?
I don't know.
Was it to eat?
This is yes for them. They kill them and they eat. I
They
don't
eat,
know.
I see.
Yeah, this was for them.
And this was outside the ghetto? This was in Gentile...
This was the Germany, the Germans.
This
No
was in-
ghetto. There's a no ghetto
This
there.
was in the
Outside in Chancellorhouse. Yeah.
the Gentile part
Yeah.
of Chancellorhouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was the casino, and the Pa was now working there. And
Yeah.
And he got you to work there too.
So that's why they sent for me.
Mm-hmm.
A German came
Yeah.
and he took me there.
Yeah.
Anyway, came out. There were 2 officers that took care after this casino, after this building.
Yeah.
And one came out to take the workers that just brought, and I was there with another woman and other men. There were carpenters, there were plumbers, they built special cages, special things for the old animals, for pigs separate, for cows separate.
Let me interrupt. Let me get a sense of the time. Do you remember what year this was? You went to the casino?
Maybe 1943, I don't, something like that.
43?
Yeah.
Now, you say you were in the Hasag a long time, in the Pa was in the other camp a long time. Did you not see him at all when you were in the two camps?
No, sure not. I didn't see him.
So how long were you and the Pa separated?
I don't know that. I don't remember.
A
A
year?
long time.
A year?
Something like that. Maybe a year, maybe
A long
less.
time. Were you afraid you would never see him again?
Well, I wasn't afraid, but I was miserable and crying and smoking, and this was the whole thing.
Was
And I
it-
didn't eat. I was looking like that.
Was there any way you could communicate with him? You couldn't send messages?
Nothing.
Nothing.
So when I came to this casino, when they brought me
Mhm.
and the German, and we were men and two women, another woman and me. They all were workers to build special places for the animals.
Mhm.
So-
Let me interrupt again. Where did you live when you worked in the casino? Did you live in the casino?
Who?
You and the Pa?
I just came. I didn't live. I just came there.
And then you went back?
I just arrived the time I'd never been there. I just came. They sent for me, and I just came in. This is what I want to tell you.
Okay, go ahead.
I came, and the officer came out to receive us,
Mhm.
to see what kind of people they brought.
Mhm.
And he said to me, the other woman was a tall girl. He said, and it was so raining outside and cold. You know, it was, I think in November or that, I don't remember, October. You know, it was terrible weather. And I was in little sandals, summer. And he said right away, you little girl, to me, you're coming to the kitchen for help.
This is the German said this to you.
The German said to me.
Mhm.
You know, in German everything. Du Kleine kommst nicht hier. Aus Gehilf.
Mhm.
And the other, she said, oh nice, she is so lucky. Look at it's a terrible weather. It was cold, it was windy, it was raining, and she is sent to work inside. She will have warm. So this, when I went in, there was another girl, a rabbi, a daughter. She was there already, a young girl, younger than me. And she was peeling potatoes for dinner because they're supposed to come every day for dinner, the old officers, the old Germans. When I sat down to peel potatoes, the cook, she came in, a girl, a tall girl, a Polish girl, and she picked the chickens, she make a soup.
Mhm.
You know, the cooked chickens, she came in and she pushed me the piece of chicken. Eat, to me.
Did you have typhus at this time?
What?
Did you have typhus at this time in the casino? When did you have typhus?
Oh, typhus when I came to Delhi, when he was in Rakov,
Yeah.
and I was in Hassak, when I was sent there, when they sent me from Hassak to Rakov to Delhi.
Yeah.
At that time, I didn't eat nothing. I didn't touch. I couldn't eat the food they gave. I couldn't stand, so I got sick.
How long were you in Rakov?
I was in Rakov maybe 2 years.
2 years in Rakov. And every day you went to the casino and then you came back to Rakov. No, I don't understand.
No. When I was on Rakov, I didn't went to this casino. I came to this casino. I was in a camp, in a different place. I work, and
Where did you live when you worked in the casino? Where did you sleep?
I didn't sleep in this casino. They took me in the morning. The German came for us,
Mm-hmm.
and they took us home.
Now, they came for you. You weren't in Rakov,
Not just me, everybody who works there.
but you weren't staying in Rakov.
I was in Rakov when I came to Delhi. I was in Rakov.
Mm-hmm.
And that time I was sick. I got
Okay.
sick.
And the daddy was working with animals in Rakov.
The daddy was in casino with the Germans. He was
I don't
working
understand how
with
Rakov and the casino. I don't understand.
because yes,
When Daddy was in Rakov and you were in Hasag, That was before the casino. Yeah? And then the daddy was chosen to work in the casino. And he said, I need my wife. So you came to Rakov. And then you were both in Rakov, you say, for 2 years.
I was in Rakov and I got sick very shortly. I was there maybe a week or two and I got sick. And I was the only sick from the whole camp.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one sick. I'm a very lucky woman. Everything happens to me.
How long were you sick?
I was very sick. And we had a lot of money because I made the money in this ghetto when I had a restaurant.
Yeah.
So we had all kinds of money.
Okay.
And to me, there was one nurse and she was always with me. When they looked for the nurse, they called the nurse, oh, she is by the Mrs. Quinte. I was so sick, I couldn't even sit. And she came every day, she changed the linen for me,
Mm-hmm.
and she washed me. She held me with one hand, and the other hand she washed me.
Mm-hmm.
And the daddy brought every day from the work he worked in Rakov, he brought a fresh chicken. He just killed a chicken. He cleaned up, he brought the chicken to the the whole ghetto
Mm-hmm.
was wiring around with a barbed wire
Rakov.
in Rakov.
Mm-hmm.
And he came, there was a German, Ukrainer with a gun, he was watching us around.
Mm-hmm.
And he came to the barbed wiring and ran right away. The doctor's wife ran to it. Oh, this is for Mrs. Quinte. They knew right away. They took the chicken, and the doctor's wife or the nurse were cooking for me.
Were you working when you were sick?
I wasn't working. I was laying in a bed, and the whole camp was watching me.
They were protecting
I
you.
can't tell you how I was lucky. I can explain to you.
But this was before the casino. Am I right? Or am I wrong?
This is after this casino.
After the casino?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't understand how Rakov connects to the casino. What happened first?
That's what I want to explain to you.
Okay.
When this general picked me,
Mm-hmm.
when the old Jews went for that to the train, when they
Yeah.
ran to the train,
Yeah.
and he said to the Jewish policeman to take me to the right,
Mm-hmm.
the old women, they were standing in the right to stay and to clean up the old houses,
Yeah.
what I mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they took us all in one place, in a very huge place, a hall, very, very big, just for women. They all placed us there in this place before we came to the ghetto, before we came to the Hasa.
Okay.
After that, this was the first segregation. You understand?
Okay.
They took us there. The men separate and the women separate.
Was this a building or a camp?
A big building, a
big
huge building.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was once for soldiers.
Uh-huh. A barracks.
Anyway, after that, they took us from there. They took us in factories. Separate factory for the women, and a separate across here for women, this factory,
Yeah.
in this factory for men. And there were signs on the front. If they find a man by the woman at 9 o'clock, he gets shot right away. He gets killed. If they find a woman by the man, the same thing. Anyway,
This was before the small
this
ghetto?
was right when they segregated us.
The first
When
thing.
the people went to death
Uh-huh.
and we were to live.
This is before you cleaned up the houses.
Before that.
Yeah.
This was from some beginning.
Okay.
After that, we were staying, looking. That's why I like Mrs. Rosenberg, because at that time, when they took us to the first place, to the big ones, they make special beds, 2, 3, in the barracks.
Yeah.
They make that. Anyway, everybody was grabbed. There was in a corner a big mountain with covers, with pillows, you know, for the beds. Everybody was running, was picking for them, and I didn't care. I was sitting on the floor and crying my head off. So she came. That's why I like her. She came. She took me by force. I didn't want to go. She said, "You have enough. You will sleep with me." That's why I like her. This is what she said that time. And I was with her, and we sleep on one bed, on the same bed. This from Brazil, she is her auntie. You understand?
Mrs. Rosenberg's auntie.
Right. Mrs. Rosenberg is the auntie, my girlfriend from Brazil.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Anyway, I slept with her, but I was with the other girl.
Okay.
And then after that, they brought us to a factory. In one factory were the women, in the other factory were the men. This is what I mentioned before. If a man will be by the woman get shot, then the same. Anyway, that time, the daddy was a daddy, and he didn't care. He came with a Jewish policeman. The women were hungry. We didn't have nothing to eat. I didn't care. I just cried. I had enough. Listen. They took out the teeth, they took out diamonds, they gave away the Polish to bring a piece of bread, a quarter of a bread. They did everything. Anyway, in the afternoon, the door opens and the daddy comes in with a Jewish policeman. I mentioned this before, he gets shot if they find him. He came in and he brought me bread and milk and chocolates and cigarettes and matches, everything. And I was standing like that, the whole foot what he brought me. And I'm full of tears. And he is, hij zei, let me, he pat me around and he kissed me. He said, "Darling, don't cry. Our child is in good hands." I had it, you know, the girl. And I cry more. I said, "I know, in good hands." Anyway, he left. Yeah, and he said, "Tomorrow morning we're going to pick you up." He mentioned that time in the officers' casino to the officers that I'm a specialist to pick the geese, the feathers by the light geese.
Okay, we have to stop because I'm getting confused.
This was, from beginning, this was the whole thing.
You're telling me that before the small ghetto, before the big ghetto, before the Hasag, before Rakov, you went to this factory, this barracks. Men here, the women here, right?
Yeah, this was from beginning.
And then the Pa was already going to the casino? At the beginning, the Pa was involved in the casino?
No.
No? The casino came much later. The Pa was chosen for the casino much later, I understand, right?
Much later, right.
So what are you telling me now about the casino?
What I told you about the casino?
You were just mentioning, he said in the casino.
Oh, this was after,
You're jumping around. I get confused.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Maybe we'll leave this for tomorrow, I'm too tired.
Let me ask you one more question.
But I can't talk so much, but 1 hour.
Okay, let's take a break.
He stepped out from the line. He mentioned that he is a professional. He had a big farm, and he knows how to handle pigs and the whole thing.
This happened in Rakov.
Yeah, this happened in Rakov, right.
And he said he needed your help.
He didn't say he need my help.
Okay.
But he mentioned that he is a professional.
Yeah.
So he said next day when the officer came, he told him to come to this casino. He was sent to this casino that time.
Yeah.
When he came to this casino and he saw the whole thing, they knew, because he mentioned that the ships has to be cut the wool off and this and that, and he will make the pigs very fat, and that the geese has to be picked up by live, the feathers. But this has to be done by professional. And my wife, she said she's professional because he made it special because he wanted I should be sent to him. This was the thing.
So where did the Pa learn to take care of pigs?
So listen, what?
Where did the Pa learn to take care of pigs? He just knew geese, right?
Well, listen what he did with the geese.
Okay.
When I came to this casino, he gave me a chair to sit down, and he took the wings, or the wings, how you say that? He turned the two wings, the wings, and put the geese on me. If she turned with the wings, the geese can fly, you know that. So he put this geese, I don't know, goose on my lap, and he said to me, listen, you're looking, is it okay?
Yeah, it's good.
He said to me, listen, he said, Mila, you pick everyone feather carefully, separate, but if you take two together, this will hurt her, she will jump. This he explained to me. Listen, and I didn't know this officer, one officer who took the whole group, who received the whole group when we came, the workers, the men with the one woman, I didn't know that he likes me. And he looked from the window, from the dining room, he looked, and he was watching me. And the daddy, when he took around the wings, he put me on the lap, and I picked, but I picked everyone feathers separate. You hear? But some feathers they grow very deep. This hurt her. So when I picked her, she jumped, and I got scared. So I stood up, and the geese fell down and break a leg. Listen. So he picked another geese. That's why he was laughing. He likes me very much, German. Listen. So he picked, the daddy picked another geese, and he did the same thing. He turned the wings, and he put on the left, and this was again, the geese jumped, and I got scared, and they fell down and she broke the leg again. So all were around, were liming. Wie heißt this? Some gelum.
They were limping.
Yeah, they all were limping. So the German, he looked to the window, he saw everything. He saw that I'm not professional. Listen, you want to go?
No, I'm just standing up.
So listen, he said once to the Pa, Zygmunt, weißt du was? Do you know what? He said, your wife, she makes all geese lame. How do you say that?
She makes geese lame.
Also lame, and I did it. Anyway, I did the whole thing like that, and he saved me from a lot of trouble in Skettle. One time there were papers, this is what I remember now.
Was this Koch?
Huh?
Was this Koch? This German?
Koch, is
Koch.
it gedenkt?
Okay,
Koch,
yeah.
Koch, yeah. So listen,
He was in the casino.
he and another German, another officer, they both were two buses in this casino. They run this casino.
This is where the German officers lived, the casino?
This is, they all came every day for dinner. They were eating dinner, and this cook, she was cooking, and I helped her, whatever she liked.
Was this like the Nazi headquarters for Częstochow?
Yeah.
So did
This
any
is made the Nazis.
did any really big Nazis come to Częstochow and stay there? Anybody like Himmler or Eichmann? Any big names that you remember? No?
I didn't see them, but when I took my little girl for a walk, so there was a beautiful big store, a bookstore in Częstochow.
This is before the war.
That's what? No. It's in the war. Years in the war, when Hitler was in a big portrait, a big picture was in the window.
But this is before.
And the war.
Before
And
the
the
trains.
war. When was the big ghetto.
Yes. Okay.
I walk with my child outside. I walk with her. We went through the store. So I was standing and looking in. Inside was a sign written in German. Jews are not allowed to come to look in this window. To everyone park, you went to a park, or to a big restaurant, or to a big, anywhere to big public places, where everywhere big signs for Jews and dogs not forbidden. You understand?
Okay, yeah. Let me ask you again something I don't understand.
Yeah.
When you and the Pa were both working in the casino, where did you sleep? Where was your home?
They took us to the ghetto back. They took us home. The Germans took us every day back.
Back to the ghetto?
That's right. When we were in the small ghetto, not in the big ghetto.
You
The
told me-
big ghetto, nobody took me or brought me because I was in the big ghetto. We had a store, we make business
So
in
you
the big
were-
ghetto.
in the big ghetto.
Yeah,
So
but in the small ghetto, we work in the on the Hassak or in the officers casino. In the Hassak, you didn't went to the ghetto because the ghetto was bombed.
okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Did you work in the casino
They took us home.
before they bombed the ghetto?
Yeah, I work in this casino.
Before they bombed the ghetto.
When I work in this casino, I work, and from this casino, then I stopped this casino. This cook, he took me home once with the other lady, and he brought me to a building where they all from the office, the engineers, the doctors, a beautiful building. This is a special building for all who work with the German. They had better. So he took me once to a room on the first floor. There were two rooms. The people, they were already sent to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
There were two empty rooms. He brought me up to the two rooms like you hear now. He said, Mila, do you like the rooms? Did you hear that what he said? Gefällt dir diese Zimmer? Gefällt dir das Wohnung? Do you like these rooms? I didn't talk. Always I was with tears, miserable, never. I had never a smile on my face, nothing. He was talking always to me. He talked, and this what I said, he likes it. Even I said to him Yiddish, he understood everything what I mean. Also hat mich lieb gehabt. And I said I did. So he said, I'm gonna send right away two painters, two men that will paint around the rooms. I said, no, like that. No, doesn't pay, don't do it. It doesn't pay because my life was so short. He's gonna paint the rooms. I said, no, we don't need it, not necessary, something like that in German. So he said, okay, I won't do it. But I have, here you have a paper. He took out the paper with a pencil. He said, du hast ein Paper and ein Bleistift. You mark it down whatever you need. There were two empty beds, nothing inside.
Did you move there? Did you live there?
Yeah, listen, yeah. You mark it down whatever you need. From beds, from a lepel, from a spoon, from a... Whatever you need, mark it down, and I bring you everything. Did you hear? He didn't touch me. He got nothing to do with me. His eyes, nothing.
Do you remember his
But
first
I
name?
saw you mich lieb gehabt.
Do you remember his first name? Koch?
Koch hat man gerufen, Blaise. No, I don't know. Koch. So, the andere hat geheißen Pasch.
Hush.
So, listen.
Okay, let me try to understand. Where was the munitions factory that you worked? Was it in Hasek?
Hasek, yeah. The whole thing was in Hasek.
How long did you work in the munitions factory? A long time?
Till 1945. Till the Russian came.
Till the Russians came. So you worked in the munitions factory after you worked in the casino. No, after you worked in the casino. And you worked in the casino after you had the restaurant.
In the casino, I didn't work anymore because I work on Hasek. First on Rakov, then from Hasek I was sent. Before I was sent to Hasek, when they blew up the ghetto,
Yeah.
the small ghetto.
You went to Hassan.
I was sent to Hassak. When I came to Hassak, I find out that this cook's wife, she works on Hassak, but I didn't know where and which factory, and which place. Anyway, I find out. And she saw me once or twice there. She used to come visit her husband. So when I came there, I was with my girlfriend from Brazil. We were always together. I said, Hella, you come with me. I hear that his wife, she's working here somewhere. Anyway, I find out. I came into this place, yeah, and I said to her, Mrs. Koch, I want to work with you. I'm the miller. I'm Miller. She turned around, and I was blonde that time because he wanted to save me on the Polish side. He wanted to save my life with another young girl. The Koch.
Koch wanted to save your life.
Yeah. So I was very blonde. So listen. So she turned around, she says, Du bist die Miller, ty jesteś die Miller. Przecież, du warst doch schwarz. You were dark, and now you are blonde.
I don't understand why you were blonde.
He's supposed to bring us paper, me and a young girl, and we're supposed to be sent. He's supposed to help us to go out from the ghetto, to save our life, to run out from ghetto.
Koch was going to smuggle you out?
Yeah.
Oh.
So the daddy was ready to do that. When I said to the daddy, I'm going to be blonde, he said he's going to hide under the bed. He was afraid I would look terrible. Anyway, when he saw me to the window, I looked at him beautifully. I was young, nice, brown, you know. Anyway, she said to me, you were dark, now you are blonde. And then you're going to be dark again. Anyway, she helped me the whole time. She helped me to go to daddy that time. I love it. She helped me a lot. So what I did, when I saw they're helping me, and I saw he is very good to me, you listen what I did. He wasn't in this casino, this cook. He was watching the Jews, the people who were working out, cleaning out the houses. He was that time there. And he talks to the people always about me. Mila, Quinta, they didn't know who I am. The other people, the workers, the Jews. Anyway, one find out. And he said, I know her. She has a restaurant to me, about me. And he said, the cook said to him, you go to Mila, you tell her that I'm working here. If she needs anything, if I have a restaurant, she knows I need something. If she needs anything, you tell her to come here in 2 o'clock to be here. So what I did, I got dressed and I went, and where he was staying was with bark by it around this place. And I came to it, and he saw me, he knew I'm coming this time. I didn't yell, I did nothing. I can't tell you. I came, I didn't say anything, I just came like that. And he called 2 men, 2 jüdische boys. He called them to pull away the wire. He wanted me to go through. And by the window was staying Ukraine with a machine gun.
Yeah.
They were watching everyone's house, you know, the Jewish house in this ghetto. Why? They're holding the wiring to go through, and he's staying waiting. And I'm looking to this Ukrainian with the gun. While I was looking, he understood right away what I mean. That I'm afraid I go through and he can shoot me. You understand? He understood right away. He said, Mila, don't be afraid, come through to me. And he said to him something in German, you better watch out. And I went through. And everything was sorted out. It's okay when I'm saying this? Everything, you know, the people were sorting out, glasses and people and furniture and this and that. And he said to me, Mila, what do you like? What do you need? in German.
Where was this happening?
When I went through, he was walking. When I went through, they were
Through
holding.
the barbed wire.
Yeah, I went through, and he was watching the people that were walking around. Verstaat?
No, where were they working?
The people were working. They took out, they sorting out the furniture, the dishes. The people were there.
From the empty houses.
Yeah, from the empty houses.
Okay.
So everything was in the front sorting out. So he said to me, Mira, what do you need? I said, I need, I was talking Yiddish to him, I didn't speak German, but he knew, he understood every word. I said, I need a small table to the kitchen. I need spoons. I said, Löffel, Guppel. This is what I said. He understood everything. In cups, sauces, and this. Anyway, whatever I said, I need this, I want this. He said to the girl or to the man, you take this, put it here. Everything in one place. Then he said to me, Mila, you go now home, and everything they will bring you to the room.
Okay.
Listen, I was ready to go, to go out. Came to me through 2 young officers. They were real murderers, terrible. They took the youngest girl, they raped them, and then they killed them. They did. The officers, they knew each other. Anyway, when I was ready to walk out, and they walk in this side, one said to the other, look at who's coming here. I think they were looking for me. And when he heard this, he had a spoon. He threw away the spoon, and he walked right away behind me, this officer, Koch. And they were walking and talking about, they talked to me, and I didn't answer, he answers after me, for me. Koch answered to them for me. So one said to him, why are you talking for her? Why don't you talk? Why are you talking for her? He said, because she doesn't speak German. Did you hear? And he walked with me, Koch, they went through, and Koch went with me till the gate, and crossed I lived, and he said, go home, Mila. I went home. Listen, the man lady brought me, the man who worked there, who told me to come to him to see him, he brought me everything to the house. When he brought me, I said to him, are you going to work tomorrow in the same place? He said, yes. I said to him, can you stop here tomorrow before you go to work? I want to send something. He said, okay. I bake a cake, my sponge cakes, what I make. And I took a bottle, 2 quarts bottle, and I make Eier cognac. I had everything at home. I had spirit, I had coffee, I had milk, I had everything. And eggs. And I don't remember how to make Eier cognac. I make a beautiful Eier cognac that time. And I sent the cake with the Eier cognac to him. Listen, to Koch. The man took over. And I said, you tell him that's Mila sent. That's all, Mila. Since then, maybe 4 weeks I didn't hear, or he took to the girl, she loves him in his casino. She fell in love with him, the young girl. Or he took to his wife. I didn't know, or he didn't took at all. Warum nicht gewusst what happened. I didn't know what happened with and I forgot about the whole thing. But when I supposed to be sent to Delhi from Hassak to Rakov, when I came to his woman, to his wife, and I was there, and she came once, she ran to the office, she said, this woman, she has to go, German, she must be the first on the list to her husband, to Rakov, and me. She said this in the office, in the Jewish office. Anyway, she came once and she said, Mila, hast du gehört? Did you hear that you going to Rakov to Zygmunt? She said this. I said to her, listen what I said. I said to her, I have no strength anymore. I can't do it anymore. I'm not strong enough. I don't care. I don't care, you know.
But you went to Krakow.
She said, this is what I said to her. She says, Mila, I'm going to help you. A German, listen. She said, Mila, I'm going to help you. You send it to me a cake in a Eier cognac.
That's nice.
That time I find out that the cake came to her.
She got it.
I didn't know that. The whole time I didn't know that.
So
Du hast doch mir gegeben ein Cake und ein Eiercognac.
So tell me, how long were you in Krakow?
In Krakow, not long.
Was there a munitions factory in Krakow?
Oh yeah, the same thing what was in
In Hasek.
Hasek.
And the pa was working in the factory too?
The pa had a work. He was a builder. The building, the fixing, the buildings, the factory. There was something to fix.
Construction or
There
maintenance?
were a group,
Yeah.
that fix. He was always with the shovel on his shoulder, or this what makes what opens the bricks with the
A pick?
with the stones, a pick on his shoulder, and he walks that. Listen, you wanna hear more?
No, let me ask you some questions. This was after the casino, after with the animals? They
Yeah,
didn't-
this is finished. No
They didn't-
casino anymore. That's it.
How did you stop? What happened to the casino? Why were you taken
I
away?
don't know that.
Why did
What happens casino because I was in the small ghetto. The ghetto was aufgelöst, was bombed,
Yeah.
and we left on the Hassak. We had to stay there. This officer, what I told you, he was walking and smoking cigarettes, and he held a speech for hours to us, walk up and down. He said, "This is your home, and no more ghetto." And this, you have the factory, from the factory to the Hassa, to the barrack, from the barrack to the factory. This is your life, and that's all.
You think this was around
And we couldn't go nowhere.
This was around 1943.
And this was about 1944.
44.
Yeah.
So you worked in the.
And so listen, darling, how I save. You want to hear?
Okay, let me
Yeah.
ask you a few more questions. So you worked in the munitions factory for about a year, 44, 45.
Yeah.
And this was in Krakow.
This was in Rakov, yeah. From Rakov we were sent back to Hassak.
You went back and forth.
With Daddy, yeah.
Okay. Was it?
And we survived on Hassak. Not on Rakov, on Hassak.
What was it like working in the munitions factory? Was it hard work?
I was one from the best from the whole factory. I was the best.
Was it hard work?
I was dynamite, don't ask.
Was it hard work?
Listen, darling, sure was a hard work. There were boxes, like you see, so there were in the wooden boxes, there were boxes like that, but they didn't were open because the bullets were run out. They were covered, but boxes, heavy boxes, with full bullets.
How big were the bullets?
A bullet was so high, so long.
For like a rifle?
Yeah, they were inside were the powder, and in the front was the gold thing what is killing. But my machine where I was sitting, this was squeezing the gold point to the powder. You understand? Was squeezing, fastening. This was my machine doing. But I work with gloves, and everybody's supposed to make an accord to finish a box like this. There were 8,000 bullets. You understand?
What do you mean an accord? You had to.
You have to finish.
Make a quota.
Yeah, what?
You had to do a certain number every day.
You mustn't do it, but the work has to be done good. And then this, when you finish the box, you're supposed to put on the top a little paper your name. That is your work. And this went to a special office. They were all Germans with all kinds of binoculars, with microphone glasses, they look around and check and test. Everything has to be done before they they start to shoot, to walk, to put in the machines. And if they find a few non good, the box, it came a Bergschutz, Ukraine with a gun, and they came for you. They came to the factory, to the same place, to the German, or woman or a man, and he mentioned this and this name. She was taking to the Ukrainian with a whip, and there she had to let down the pants and everything on the place behind, and they gave her with the whole power many, many times, and after that she had to go back to work and to sit and work again.
The Ukrainians.
I never been even once.
The Ukrainians did this.
Yeah, there were special people on the gate, you know, between. But do you want to hear how I survived, and then we'll be finished?
Okay.
You want to hear?
Okay.
So every time we were working, how is it? We were working with the Poles. I mentioned this, and to some people, to some Jews, the people they bought bread and other stuff what they need. They bought them a paper, a newspaper. You understand?
No. When were you?
The Paul they brought to the Jews, to his customer, a newspaper.
When were you working with the Poles?
The whole time on the factory we work always with the Poles.
There were Poles in the factory.
Poles were Yidden with Goyim, yeah.
So it wasn't just Jews.
Jews with Poles were working together.
In the
By the machines in the factory everywhere.
in the Hasak.
Yeah,
And
Jews
Rakav.
with Poles always.
Rakav.
Mm.
But there were no Jews in the little ghetto. I mean,
And
there were
no,
no
in
Poles
the
in
ghetto
the
was
ghetto?
no Poles,
Okay.
just Jews.
Okay.
But in the factory we work with Poles.
Okay. Did you work with gypsies too?
And no, no gypsies, they're just Poles. So listen, so some Jews they had a paper they received from the Poles.
Newspaper.
If they read the paper, so one whispered to the other, even the cigarettes. Do you know what was in they're losing the war. That's terrible. They this and that. They told them the news.
So you heard about what was happening outside.
The people knew if a German find the paper, they all get killed. You know. Anyway, they were careful. And while you were working with the shovel or by the coals or by anything, any work, they're telling you, Oscar Hagen, did you hear? They're losing the war. They're doing this. They're doing that. Anyway, we knew the Jew. We knew the news. Everybody knew what's going on the war. Anyway, one time was bet on between they lost the war. They lost the bad things. Some verloren, you know, it was no good.
They lost the battle.
Anyway, they didn't let us to the factory, so we walk around outside between the boxes, the Jews, because they didn't let us on the factory. They were afraid. I don't know, it was no good. In the meantime, I'm looking. In the meantime, then was 2 or 3 days we walk around like that, and then there came a news that we're going back to the factory. So there was full of Germans all around, officers, Ukrainian, and the Gestapo full with the papers all around. It was January, cold, freezing, yeah? And they cut away, they're full of Jews, they're pushing, they're jumping, you know, the Jews. They cut away a half group, they let here, and the other half they let to the factory to work. And the other half, they were ready to send away to death. Anyway, I was always afraid. I didn't care about the life. I was afraid they would hit me with a whip. They get me with a whip, so I went always back. Anyway, then they told us to straight out lines, make lines to four women, you know, four like that. While we were standing, I was in a wooden shoe, no stockings, nothing. Froze. I didn't feel nothing.
Wooden shoes?
Yeah. Anyway, we were standing, so one woman said to me, Mila, now we don't know where we're going to live or we're going to be sent away somewhere in deep Germany, far in Germany. I want to be always with you, Mila. I want to have somebody close to me. Then the other woman said, did you hear? The other woman, Mila, don't listen to her. You're going with me. And I was standing like, going here, going there. I listened to her. I didn't feel at all or I'm alive. Then this girl, she came. I don't know, you hear about, she saved my life. I mentioned this, I think, once to you. There was a woman, she saved my life.
Yeah.
Then she came because the daddy always went with him, with her husband.
Oh,
And she came to me and she grabbed me like a baby by the hand. She said, Mila, don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. You're going with me. Our husbands are going together too. And she grabbed me. They're full of people with Germany, with Gestapo, with full of them, and all Jews. They're walking around on the backyard, full of them. And she takes me around the people, and she takes me straight to the toilet. In the toilet where we were sitting like chickens, one by the other. And they were so noisy, so many women. I said to her, Masha, she's in Miami, she lives in Miami, the same woman. I corresponded, they used to come to me very often when I was in Miami. And I said, Masha, I don't want to stay here, it's too noisy. And I was like a dummy, I didn't know, bin gewesen so verfrischt. I said, no, I'm afraid. She took me again by the hand and she walked me to another barrack. You hear? Yeah. The men were sent away. They all were sent away because the Germans, they saw they're losing the war. They took the people, groups, and they sent away to deep Germany. You understand?
Not to death.
No, not to death. They to send away. They were away. And this barrack was empty, but it was a mess that time. The straw with the beds, with everything was terrible. Was like a garbage. And I came with her, and it was empty, the barrack was empty. And she said to me while I was staying, she said, Mila, I hear that under a cabin, under a bed, there's a bunker. That's we can. I said, like you hear, David. I said, no, I'm not going to go there. There's lousy, there's sturdy. She said, Mila, now is the time, life or death. Come on. I said, I hear. This is what I said. I didn't want to go. So she took me again by the hand. She walks around, around, over the thousands of people. And she took me again to another barrack, was empty too, because everybody was sent away. The whole camp, they took away, kept they sent away.
You know they were sending them to Germany?
To Germany, they sent away, away.
What?
They took them away, I don't know where.
You don't know where?
No, not to death, but they took
Not
them
to death?
away, far away from Częstochowa.
Why do you say this was life or death?
She said to me that time, because they always, they country, they didn't know where to put us. They didn't know where to put us, or to death or to life.
You didn't
Where
know?
I didn't know what to go, what to do, because it was full of Germans.
You didn't know what was happening?
No.
Okay.
So she grabbed me, she took me to a barrack number 5. There was nobody there, but it was a nicer, it was a little cleaner. It was a wooden table with 2 benches. and I sat on this table. So in this side room was a window, was from the back. From this to this window there were tracks. The train came, a train, you know, a private train, a train like not for people, just for cows, for you know, wie heißt das, kleine train. They came to put to
A freight train.
to yeah. They're pushing the old people to the train for that. To away.
Yeah.
And so the whole camp was empty, was nobody there. Everything was sent away. You understand?
Do you think they were going to be?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know what happened, but they were taken away with the train. So she was looking here, and then when she looked here, she looked where the backyard is from the camps, from the barracks. Here was the train. Here was. You are tired, huh? You want to go to bed?
No, keep on.
So listen. And she told me, and I was sitting like a robot. I didn't know. I was sitting, and she looked here, and she looked here, she looked here, and she told me. While we were sitting like that, and my whole story was David, I was talking, and I was thinking with my mind that I'm supposed to go with everybody. What happened with the old Jews will happen with me. Why I don't want to be different. If I be different, they find me. They give me a very terrible death. They will hang me by the feet. They will do anything to me. I supposed to go. What everybody goes, I supposed to go. This is what I kept saying. While I was sitting on the chair on the bench, I hear somebody's going, somebody's walking. You hear nobody was anymore. Everything was empty. Everybody was sent away. And I was sitting, and I heard somebody's talking. So I was sure that the Germans are talking, or are walking. And if they comes in, they find us, they will make us they give us a terrible death. And the door opens, there came in two Jewish men. That they were two managers, overseers, I don't know how you say that. And they came in, one said in Yiddish, look at, he said, two women are here. Nobody was there anymore. And the other man said, why are you telling them like that? Women, he said, girls, go on the top rich bed and hide. Maybe you survive. Maybe you survive. What the other said. And they went out. And the daddy saw that the train goes away. He was sure I'm there. I was sent away like the other.
The daddy wasn't sent away.
I told you before that daddy was walking around with a shovel on his shoulder. He was allowed, his job was allowed to walk around on the whole camp around. Not outside, but inside. Anyway, he walks with this other woman, what I was hiding. And the two men came to him. I didn't know them. The two men came to, the daddy was staying like that. And he was thinking, my wife, I'm not going to see her anymore. He was sure that I went away. And the two men came to him, and they said like that. So I say Yiddish? English. Zygmunt, your wife, and the other with the steel teeth, with the brass teeth, is hiding number 5, barrack number 5. He said, it's not my wife, the daddy. He knew after the gramming. He said, it's not my wife. The man said, what? The daddy said, you know my wife? Do you know? He said, you're telling me I don't remember when she came to the Transbrau? I know your wife. And the daddy wasn't still sure. He left the other man, and I hear he walks to the barrack. I didn't know that's him, but I hear somebody's walking again. The door opens. Listen, we both are hiding. The door opens, and the devil yells, not my name, nor her name. He said, Masha. He opened the door. When he said Masha, I lift up my head. I said, Sigmund, you could lose me by that time, something like that in Yiddish. And he was happy to see me, that I'm still there. He said, hide still, it's no good yet, it's not good yet. And we went back, we lied back maybe 2 minutes, and the German who was keeping them, who was watching them in the factory, he opened the door because the Germans, they had no connections. You understand?
No.
The one to the other, they're supposed to phone and get them know that they are losing the war.
Oh.
They should hide, they should run away. They had no connections.
No communications.
No communications.
Okay.
So they opened the door and he ran out. When he ran out, the all workers went out. When we hear noise, we came down from the barrack, from the bed. We went in with the whole group. People went out. This was I survived.
This group of people, where were they going?
We went out from the Hassak, out from the gate.
The Germans
We were
ran
out.
away?
Listen,
The Germans were running away, was that it?
we didn't see Germans, but every Russian, they killed the German.
The Russians came in.
Yeah.
Aha.
The Russians, that's why they had no connection, that's why everyone went away on their own,
I see.
and they were killed. The point is this, Dave was sure they had a little boy, you remember? This little boy, they pulled this little boy to the people, they lived close to this place we had the geese. This farm, we had the geese, the cages with the geese, they lived there.
Who did?
The people where he took this little boy, he hid to these poles.
He gave his little boy to
He paid them, and they should keep them. He was sure he will survive.
I see.
The Paul, they were thinking that we're not going to come out alive anymore.
Uh-huh.